Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LifeToday podcast and welcome to this channel. In this episode, we are very honored to be joined today by the one and only Dr. Gia Sison. Dr. Gia Sison is a medical doctor here in the Philippines, specializing in occupational medicine. She's the head of the Women's Wellness Department in Makati Medical Center, and she's the advisor of the Youth for Mental Health Coalition. And of course, she's one of the best motivational speakers that we have here in the country that promotes mental health wellness. So again, here with us to talk about the effects of social media on our mental health, here's Dr. Gia Sison.
Hi, Catherine.
For approving my request. Thank you so much for
Of
joining.
course.
Thank you so much, Doc. So, Doc, before we go into the questions, I just want to ask, how are you? How are you dealing with the situation now?
So tired na. Okay lang. Try to survive. How are you? What year are you now?
I'm in coming second year, Doc.
Kaya nyo yan?
Thank you, Doc.
After this, I'll be taping a message naman for UST Med. So, wala lang. Sabi ko nga, just keep on going. It's something naman kasi we didn't expect to happen. But it shouldn't mean naman kasi that your dreams will be postponed.
Yes, Doc.
So, madidelay lang. But,
Tuloy pa rin.
magiging doctor din. Tuloy pa rin.
Thank you, Doc. So, Doc, di ba you have a Walwal Sesh podcast also?
Yes.
It's live every day, and I've been a solid listener to that. I just want to say
Thank you.
Yes, Doc. So speaking of social media, Doc, I've since it's our topic today also, I've recently seen a study that says, apparently my generation, 18 to 24-year-olds, spend at least 5 to 6 hours or more than hours a day using social media just for leisure. And for me, that's very upsetting to know because when you come to think about it, we don't even spend that much time to eat, in a span of a day. We don't even spend that much quality time to our family in a span of the day. Yet the reality of social media, we spend that, huge amount of time just scrolling through, people's timeline and making it a deliberate platform wherein we voice out our to hold. And when we're in a gathering, with people, with actual people, we are connecting to someone that is not even there. So, di ba, Doc? So with that, it really sets out to addiction. So why do you think are we so addicted with this, with our phones and social media?
Well, kasi addiction is another thing. Kasi when you say addiction, parang you can't live without it.
Yes.
So really, there are certain qualifiers for it to be an addiction. In any way naman, kahit hindi social media.
Yes.
But I guess we've become... Well, I'd like to see the good side first before the other side. The good side is it's a platform of connecting. Kasi let's face it, not everyone. It's already more accessible now compared to before. It can be a source of first-hand info. Yun lang, you have to choose your sources. Support groups are there.
Yes.
Advocacies, a lot of advocacies have been built through the power of social media. Like a typical example I can give you is the passage of the mental health law, which really moved fast because of your involvement. Millennials, Gen Z ba? Tama no? Gen Z.
Gen Z na.
In particular. Sometimes it portrays a perfect life, quote unquote. And so sometimes parang unknowingly you scroll on your timeline. And then you go to so many accounts na happy shots, ganyan. And so you tend to compare yourself. So that's the downside. The addiction, that's the sad part because I've witnessed a family that they were eating together. That was in a resort. I guess they were complete kasi ang haba ng table nila. They were all there. But the catch was, they were all on their phones. So nawawala na yung human connection. I think it's a deliberate effort you make every day to regulate your use of social media because may timers na rin ngayon that you can actually shut it off after a while. So that's part of the... And of course, it's a venue for fake news. However, they have taken steps rin naman to address it. So, ano siya, it's a cycle. But it's there to stay. But I think it's how we make good use of it that will make a difference.
So, Doc, you mentioned about Instagram po. And I know that my generation now is parang yun na, Instagram is life to them. Eh. Parang without that application, you're really missing out to the world. So with that, Doc, given that, social media are actually quote unquote designed to be somehow addicting to everyone, I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to be part of the platform just so we could be perceived as, individuals who are, di ba yung mga uso ngayon, hashtag goals, hashtag body
Yeah.
goals, hashtag travel goals, ganyan po. So how do you think could we avoid this? Because, of course, to most people, this might be fun, this might be a platform for liberation, ganyan. But, to most people, this could be upsetting and could actually affect their mental health. They could
Mhm.
start exploring the dark side of, of social media wherein insecurities arise, comparisons with other people, ganyan. So, how do we avoid this pressure?
It's all a matter of no, I think yeah, I want to restate that. It's difficult, but it's about self-control. It's a constant, you have to constantly remind yourself that what you see in social media may not always be a reflection of the life that's being lived by the person. Like personally, I know of friends who choose to post good pictures because they want to encourage. And meron naman iba na who post, well, there's this certain account sa Instagram, Humans of New York.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to that platform, parang yun ang real world, no?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give an example. So, sobrang vivid siya sa akin. It was a picture of a wine glass. Tapos nasa parang scenic view siya sa penthouse. So you would think it's a romantic dinner. But the story behind that was hindi siya sinipot ng partner niya na he was about to propose. So that was the story of the glass wine. So that account actually would actually ang advocacy nila is the real life behind it. And so see it's ano iba-iba yung advocacies behind the post. Pero personally, I think it's an everyday choice we make. Because if it's affecting you negatively na, get
Yes.
out of it. So that's part of self-care. Getting out of toxic platforms that don't make you, that doesn't add up to your self-esteem, self-worth every day. If it's affecting you negatively na, then it's about time, or it might be time that you deactivate those platforms that affect you.
So we should really know our limit, no, Doc?
Yeah, we should.
Applications. So what should be the proper mindset, Doc, of my generation when using social media?
You don't post everything online.
Mm.
That's number one, because what you post online stays online. So even if you delete that, they can screen capture that. And I learned that the hard way, and that's true. Think before you post too, because whatever you post again stays there. And it's also a reflection of you. Here's my tip. If you're gonna go into social media, um, be yourself, because there are some who are like this on social media, pero in real life they're not like that. Alam mo yun, they have two faces. Because
Yes.
I've been asked that eh. Funny nga, ano eh, Catherine, that there's a time they thought I was just a figurative person. It's Doc G is just like parang a character. May ganon, yeah, I countered that. Kinento sa akin ng friend ko. They didn't know that there was a person behind it. So keep your persona the real one,
Yes.
but be careful also. Be extra careful. Use it responsibly because it's a powerful tool.
Yes.
And sabi nga ni Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's true.
I like what you said, Doc. Especially that, some people are saying that, social media can either do you good or bad. Parang
Yeah.
there's no in between. Pero in reality, parang social media is just really supposedly it should be a good platform for us to, communicate and you have a positive experience. And it does not have to ruin our mental health. Diba? We have the choice to limit ourselves using it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that's the key. You have to limit yourself. You know yourself best. Meron din kasi dyan yung FOMO syndrome, yung fear of
yes.
missing out. Again, it's an everyday choice you make. If it's really getting into your, again, always, I would always remind you, pansin mo dito sa interview, it's always about if it's really affecting you negatively, then get out of it. You
Yeah.
always have a choice naman.
I know that you're a very busy person. For my last question, Doc, what are your advices to, to young people right now who are struggling with their mental health because of, everything happening in social media today? Because there's a lot of issue today that we deal with, and when we open Twitter, there's just so many opinions.
Yeah.
When we open Facebook, or so many news headlines. So, what are your advices to how do we deal with our mental health issue during these times?
Well, self-care is always key.
Yeah.
Social media is not entirely, don't make it your life because
Yes.
there's definitely life outside social media. Use it as a tool for you to learn, but don't
Yes.
make it define you. I mean, don't make the likes define you kasi may ganong tendency yung ibang individuals, and that's where the problem comes. Don't forget to communicate. Wala pa rin katumbas ang human interactions. And again, use it responsibly. So think before you ink.
Yes.
And in terms of mental health naman, all feelings are valid. We know it's difficult times. And anxiety, is, although wala pang study na ilan percent nag-increase, but definitely everyone is uncertain, especially nowadays. Acknowledge how you feel and don't hesitate to seek support
Yes.
because we all need each other more than ever, especially during these times.
Yes, Doc. Yes. Thank you
Yep,
so much,
that's all.
Doc. Well, you could promote your podcast, Doc.
Walwal Sesh is on Spotify and
Yes,
Apple.
Doc.
And yeah, please do listen to the other podcast as well of Podcast Network Asia because it's a wide variety of topics where you can learn a lot. So we're just part of the family, but please do listen to them. And if you have any suggestions, just tell Catherine if you want any topics discussed. And for you, Catherine, continue what you do.
Thank you.
And I wish you well. I'm with
Thank you so
you in
much.
your journey to your MD.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc, for your time again. I really appreciate this session. Thank you, Doc. You're such an
Thank you.